Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Greater Restoration. So we're giving this spell an A, and it is a necessary A because this spell is a necessary evil or necessary spell that you may not actually want to take, but you really have to have it because you got to have it when you need it. You know, the caster who doesn't have this is not going to be well liked by the other players, and when they cast it on the other players when they need it, they're going to be loved by the other players. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I've got another video coming out. All right, Greater Restoration is a 5th level spell that is usable by bards, clerics, druids, artificers, peace domain, and the celestial. Now, I'm going to compare this to one other spell, and that is remove curse. And the reason we're doing that is because Greater Restoration can get rid of curses, one curse including the target's attunement to a cursed item. It does basically the same thing as remove curse, except remove curse is only usable by clerics, paladins, warlocks, and wizards. Greater Restoration, which is a basic rule spell, and they did add the artificer into this, so it is usable by a few other things. No bards for remove curse, no artificers for remove curse, just base classes. So for this one, it's bards, clerics, druids, artificers, peace domain clerics, and the celestial warlock. So it's got a few more classes that can use it. It's one action, takes a touch, verbal, somatic, and material component, and that material component is diamond dust worth at least 100 gold pieces, which is gone. Remove curse doesn't have that, but Greater Restoration does a whole lot more than remove curse. Okay, so let's also look at another spell, and that other spell that we want to look at is Lesser Restoration. So let's type in restore, and eventually there'll be a thing that'll pop up that, there it is, Lesser Restoration. So Lesser Restoration gets rid of blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned. It's usable by a whole bunch of different classes, basically the same, almost the same classes as Greater Restoration. Now, druids get it, bards, clerics, those are the base, and artificers. I don't see artificers on Lesser Restoration. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so it's basically the same. So blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned for Lesser Restoration, and there is no diamond dust component. This one, so you imbue a creature you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1. Now, exhaustion is a bad thing. Let's look at that. And why is that so bad? So exhaustion level 1 is not so bad. Disadvantage on ability checks. But once you start getting down into 2 to 3, you can actually die from exhaustion. Exhaustion level 5 is speed 0. 4 is half hit points. I mean, it gets bad. A creature suffers the effects of its current level of exhaustion as well as the lower levels. An effect that removes exhaustion reduces its level as specified in the creature's description, with all exhaustion effects ending. Finishing a long rest reduces a creature's exhaustion level by 1, provided that the creature has also ingested some food and drink. Also, being raised from the dead reduces a creature's exhaustion level by 1. So it only reduces it by 1 if you finish a long rest. So, and this one will reduce target's exhaustion level by 1 as well. So it is basically the same as a long rest. It will also end one of the following effects on the target, and it should say end one or more of the following effects: charm or petrified. Now, this is a bad one because there are many creatures that can petrify, and there are some myths about getting rid of petrification. It is very clear here petrification lasts with the Medusa. Petrification lasts until the creature is freed by the Greater Restoration spell or other magic. And other magic are things like Wish. And it doesn't really say anything down here about Medusa blood. So that is a myth. The blood of the Medusa is not going to remove your paralysis. Basilisks, same thing. Creature is petrified until freed by a greater restoration spell or other magic. And it's very specific down here. And it says, some alchemists are said to know how to process the basilisk's gullet and the fluids contained within. Properly handled, the gullet produces an oil that can return petrified creatures to life. Unfortunately for such eviction, any parts in the stone that remain absent if the creature arrives. So, it's the oil from a properly processed gullet, not the blood. So that is a myth in 5th edition. That is a myth. It does not happen. And then the cockatrice only petrifies for 24 hours. So there is that. So really, this is it. This if you get hit by Medusa now, one thing I will say about the Medusa and its saving throw is it's a DC 14 con save. That's a pathetic save. And the Basilisk is a DC 12 con save, which is a pathetic save. So a lot of creatures and a lot of players are going to be able to make that, especially for something that is a CR 6. So 6-level creatures are easily going to be able to make that save. Very rarely will they not make that save. All right. In addition to curse, you can get rid of a curse. Any reduction to one of the target's ability scores. There's not a whole lot that does that in the game. Usually, conditions will give you some kind of disadvantage, but they're not going to reduce one of your ability scores. But if they do, it's really bad. Bestow curse doesn't really... It used to do that. It doesn't do it anymore. Target has disadvantage. Target must make a wisdom saving throw or it wastes its action. Target is cursed. Your attacks deal an extra... while the card is cursed, your attacks deal extra necrotic damage. While cursed, the target has disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws made by that ability score. Now, you can make Bestow Curse permanent if you cast it as a 9th level spell. And it doesn't require concentration at that point. So that's very bad. And then you will need greater restoration if that happens. And then the last thing is one effect reducing the target's hit point maximum. So that's, again, that could be exhaustion, but also it could be a number of undead creatures that can hit you and reduce your target's hit point maximum. And you may want to do something about that right then and there. So you need to cast this spell, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it's diamond dust worth 100 gold pieces. But like I said, when you need this spell, you need this spell. Like somebody is charmed in the middle of combat and they're not able to act and they're starting to attack the party, Greater Restoration will get rid of that. Petrify in the middle of combat, Greater Restoration will get rid of that. If somebody's hit points maximum have been reduced pretty badly, Greater Restoration will get rid of that. If somebody actually fails a saving throw against a really powerful Bestow Curse spell, that and that's bad, Greater Restoration will get rid of that. And you really, that can be it can mean life or death or a total party kill if you don't get rid of some of this stuff. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.